and welcome to the unboxing videos of GMS magazine. These videos are not intended to provide with a review of the gameplay itself, but just to show you what's inside the box and whether the quality of those components is good enough to justify the price that you pay for the game. I know you wouldn't think, looking at me, that I am a fashion guru. You'd be right. In fact, I don't particularly give a monkeys about fashion. So when somebody talked to me about Pret-a-Porter, I thought, with that face, yes. And then I thought, it's a fashion game. And then I heard some people actually talking very, very highly about the game. And I chastised myself quite heavily for being so prejudiced. It's a game, and if it's fun, it should not matter what the theme is all about. So for you people who are thinking, the game about fashion, get a grip. It could be really good fun. And we know it could be really good fun because this is from Portal. Portal has come out with some very interesting games in the past, and this one specifically was nominated for the 2011 finalist Game of the Year 2011 nominee Graraku Nominazza, which I'm sure something to do with some sort of North European word, which I bet is very well deserved. Anyway, enough of rambling. This is apparently a very nasty backstabby kind of game where you have to be a fashion guru. But does the inside reflect that? The outside certainly does. The illustration is absolutely gorgeous in every single way. Beautifully done. So far it's a winner. Let's take a look inside a little bit. As per usual, the first thing we see, as we should, is the rules. Very nice paper. Beautifully illustrated. Nice big fonts. Good map of the board. Ooh, lots of words. Ooh, the setup is a little bit intimidating, quite frankly. I think this could have done with a little bit more editing. There's a lot to it apparently. 4 faces. Ooh, okay. Wow. Okay, there's some samples of fashion shows. You have to do fashion shows, my goodness, in a board game. That's quite incredible. Oh. Ooh. Okay. So far, this looks heavy and very complex and very, very deep game. I'm not sure that is the kind of game that I would want to spend the whole summer afternoon. Winter, yeah, absolutely, no problem. Summer, I'm not sure. Tokens. Myriad tokens. Very bright, nice quality. I presume this is going to be the token for the player with a turn, which is very nice. Thick enough, laminated, sturdy. That is actually pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that at all. Ooh, blimey. More tokens with money. Loads of money. I like they've made tokens out of this. They could have made little Monopoly type of notes, which I hate, for the record. So I like that they've done little tokens with them. Again, the same sturdy, strong material. The board. This is going to be big, I think. That's right, standard size box. Actually rather pretty. I quite like it. Every card has a place, every place has a card, I think. And tokens, I have no idea what these places are for, but it does look busy, very busy, but very pretty. So that's alright, okay. It is heavy. I mean, this is sturdy kind of stuff. Good board. Some pieces of paper here, which I have no idea what they are for, but they are very flimsy. They're just that, paper. I'm not impressed by this. And then we have another little board in here. Not bad, nicely laminated, which is good. Oh, more boards in here. I presume this is going to be for the players. Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 of these, which is as many players as the game can take. Then we have lots of cards. Little deck. The card is very shiny and is not particularly strong either. And there are quite a few of these, because we have one deck, 2 decks, same material, and 3 decks. This one's a big card. Let me try to open for you guys. Slightly thicker, or maybe it's because it's bigger and it feels thicker. Yeah, no, same material. Very bright color, I give them that. Nicely brightly colored, which is lovely. But let's take a look at them in a bit more detail. The illustration in the cards is very, very good indeed, and there is a fairly good variety of the kind of costumes that the cards are going to show, together with the amount of money that everything is bought, the kind of little cubes that you will need to get to purchase or to produce them, what kind of garment it is. The graphic design, it's good. Although overall I think it's a little bit childish as well. I don't particularly like the little flowery illustration, especially at the cover, at the corner. I don't really see the point of that. But as fashion illustration goes, it is actually very good. It's the same figure time and time again, with the clothes on top of that, as if they were a mannequin. On the back, the illustration takes a little bit of a turn for the worse, with this being a lot more naive style. The proportions of the heads is not correct. I am not particularly keen on it. Also, because it's monochromatic and there's an awful lot of detail in the clothes, it shows very much. It just gets busy and a little bit messy. And I don't like that at all. It's a real pity, because otherwise they could be very nice cards. Everything is being very well laid out. Everything is very obvious where things are. So they could have been very, very nicely put together cards. But those two little details, if you're as picky as I am regarding the artwork in games, then you will notice those. The other ones, I'm not sure what they're meant to do. What I know though is that some of these icons can be a little bit on the small side. For example, the accountant card. The icon for the note, it gets a little bit lost in the middle there. It could be a lot bigger. And I know that they have left a lot of space for cards that have more icons in it. But that is no reason why a bit more attention to detail couldn't have been paid to it, so it was a little bit bigger, basically a little bit more obvious as to what's meant to be. The graphic design is extremely simple, and I don't have a problem at all with that, because there's no particular need for it to be elaborate. These are not situational or contextual cards, so I'm happy with that, but a little bit more attention to detail in the future would not go amiss at all. Last but not least is a bag of goodies. Goodies in game terms means little wooden pieces, loads of them. We have little cubes, ubiquitous in hundreds and thousands of games all over the place. Little cylinders, which probably counters for the game. So, and that's it. Maybe also worth mentioning that the separation blister inside the box is very nice and it holds the cards tightly enough, which is quite welcome rather than having the whole thing just wandering and dancing inside the box. What do I make of this? Mixed feelings about it. Very mixed feelings. Again, I'm not going to go into what the game is like, although I know it's a very good game and it's quite deep and very complex and very backstabbity. But the initial impressions are not great. They're good, but they're not great. For a game that's meant to be fashion-based, it's hardly trendy, so to speak. The illustrations are good, and as fashion illustration goes, they're okay. But there is nothing cutting edge about the design in this game. There's nothing that you can look at it and say, right, yes, this is how a fashion designer would design a game. This is how it would be made by Jean-Paul Gaultier or whoever you happen to like. I don't get that sense out of it. And it's a pity, because I think they have missed on a massive, massive chance to get a seriously interesting looking and interestingly designed game. The quality of the components is very good, although the cards are a little bit, just a tiny little bit on the flimsy side. They could have done with laminations, but fine, let's ignore that for the time being, because everything else is very good. These player boards are good quality. These papers, I don't know what they do, and they could do with at least being cardboard. Come on, this is flimsy, highly flimsy. The board is great, and so are the tokens. The tokens are very good. The rules could do with a little bit of editing and make them a bit more approachable. If you have a game that is as complex as this appears to be, again, this is first impressions. And if I had to play this game after somebody's giving it to me as a present, or if I was not sure as to what the game is like, this would be a little bit intimidating. A quick start game would be awesome. Just a couple of pages with the very basics as to how to start playing the game, and just a step-by-step guide about how to do everything. As it stands, I know it's a good game, but I also know that it can be very intimidating for somebody who is not very adept or very much into games. Something to think about for a third edition of the game, but I will give this game gladly, because I know there's very high production values, 3 stars out of 5. Well done, it could be a lot better.